I think a lot of it has to do with how you're raised, and because I was raised by boomer parents who took the 18 years of raising me. They took off. They took a vacation for raising their children, as most boomer parents did. I mean, they were there, but they weren't there. They were, and I get a lot of flack from this from older people that message me and hey, fuck off. But the boomer generation, in a lot of cases, was a generation driven by self-interest, greed, self-actualization, not in any real way, by the way, just constantly trying to please themselves at the expense of their children. They didn't really care about their kids. This isn't like a new thing. I'm not saying it. It was a generation of fast food, stuffing food in your kid's face, giving them activities to do so you didn't have to raise them. You're in dance, you're at sports, you're here. Hey, go get molested at this camp. I got to go and have dinner with Aunt Sue. Go get molested and don't bother me. I'm going to dinner with Sue. It was a group of people that, for the most part, it was about them. Their children were about them.
Yes.
And so the food you ate when you grew up was poison. I mean, McDonald's at 2, you were being poisoned from the jump with these. And then I think subsequent generations maybe overcorrected to now where they helicopter parent and like the kid, but it's better. That's better than the alternative.
Right.
Like my dad and mom were like, yeah, you should go to college, but that was their end. That was the end of their commitment to it. Just suggesting it. They lightly suggested it a few times. Like, yeah, you should probably go to college.
Yeah.
Now there are parents that they start in middle school and during high school, they're taking their kids on college trips and they're going to see colleges together and they're really taking an interest in their children. Yeah. My fucking parents were like, yeah, you should go to college. I never went and I regret it. You should go.
Yeah, it's not like, here's how you do it. We're going to help you apply. Here's your extracurricular activities.
This is a great story about my father. I was standing on the school bus stop up the block from my house on the corner. There were 2 schools in my town. Right before I got on the bus, I was a little kid. It was my first day of school. I was somewhat nervous. I said, Dad, which school am I going to? He goes, oh, I don't know. Get on the bus. Who knows?
If somebody did that today, they would be arrested.
Right. Who knows? Whoa. Hey, get on the bus. What do you want from me? I'm only your guardian. I'm only your father guardian. And I know there's 2 options, and I should know which one the little kids go to and which one the bigger kids go to, but I don't have the time for that. So why don't you just get on this fucking bus, which, by the way, could have been taking me to Epstein's Island. Like, nobody knew where that bus was going. He didn't even know if it was to the school I was supposed to go to. He's like, just get on the bus and figure it out, son.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
What's the worst thing that happens? You get sold into sex slavery and we never see you again? And we have to fucking have a nice charity dinner and get a bunch of money? Hey!
Is that what we got to do?
This is what's going on here?
Huh?
But, and then you look at like certain really successful people, when the kid's in the womb, they're planning the school that kid's going to.
Right.
They're like, oh, I know the kindergarten that this kid's going to go to while this kid is in my womb.
Right.
It's just a different level of commitment. That's all. I love my parents.
Yeah.
I actually thought about this the other day because last night I was here and, there weren't a lot of older people, which is nice, but sometimes you go into like local scenes and there's older, and I love older people, but here's what I don't love is older people that are think they have a shot in comedy.
Oh, oof.
That is the proudest I have ever been of my dad. My dad was a musician when I was younger, and he was good. He was like, he played guitar, he sang, he wrote songs. He had a band, he, traveled around, but, when I was born, he had to get serious. By the way, like many comics don't, they just say, oh, well, we'll raise the kids in squalor.
Yeah.
But he got a job. And instead of, not making money at being a musician, he got a job and he didn't make money at that, He was just a bad salesperson, which I appreciate because at least you have the optics of trying.
Sure.
And he gave it a shot, and I had I had food and everything like that, clearly, but I didn't have emotional But I had we had Wendy's when we wanted,
There was some type of school bus taking you somewhere.
Yeah, I was on a bus going somewhere. I had a Monterey Ranch chicken sandwich from Wendy's.
Here and there, no big deal.
Everything was fine.
Yeah.
And but one of the proudest moments I've ever been in my dad was when he said to me he started to play music again in like the local scene in Long Island where he lives. And he did this, maybe this was like 4 years ago. And he said to me, he goes, I was playing out, I was going around doing these open mics. And then he goes, some of the younger guys were like, you're really fucking good. You should do this gig with us like upstate. And he goes, okay. And it was like a few hours away from his house. And he goes, yeah, I took a ride with them. We did this gig. And then they were like, you're so good. We're planning like this little tour. And then he goes, what am I, insane? He's like, I'm in my fucking mid 60s. I need to go back. And I was never more proud of him than when he said this. He goes, I need to go home and watch television with my wife. And I was so proud of him. So proud of him.
Yeah.
And I speak for all of us. If you're an older person and you're following your dream, stop. Literally, if you were an older person and you are indulging a passion or following a dream, please, for the love of God, stop it. Because it's over.
Yeah.
And it's not the move. It's not the course. I was so proud of my dad when he's like, what the fuck do I think is going to happen?
Yeah, good for him.
What do I think's going to fucking happen? I'm going to go be on The Voice.
Can you imagine him telling his wife, like, I'm going to be out of town for the next couple of weeks?
Yeah.
Me and the boys are hitting the road.
Me and the boys are hitting the road. We think we're going to do it this time. I'm 67. It's time to get serious. It's time to really buckle down. It's like, listen, guys, he had that time. He played the music. It was great. He probably fucked some chicks that were, good looking or whatever. Whatever you get out of that. You know what I mean?
Right.
You certainly don't get a windfall of money.
No.
But at least it was good. And at the end of the day, you got to realize that, like, everybody's like, but Rodney Dangerfield, stop it.
No.
Stop it.
No.
Stop using that one example.
Yeah,
I'm not saying if you're an old person, you've always wanted to do stand-up comedy, go give it a shot. Go try it once. Don't be sitting somewhere at an open mic talking to somebody about how you plan on making it. Just cut that out, because there are older people. There's guys in their 50s who are like, I don't know how to play this. Here's how to play it. Go home. This is how to play it. Get in the car and go to your home.
Go to your villa and make sure people don't park past 7 p.m.
You know the thing that kept you from doing this for 30 years? That thing won. The fear that kept you from doing this, by the way, a very rational fear that knew you better than you did, that knew you weren't going to make it, that kept you fucking married with kids in a job, that rational fear that keeps people alive, won. Go acquaint yourself with that fear again. Snuggle with it. Cuddle with it. That fear is not meant to be conquered. Yeah. This whole thing about conquering fear has got to go. Indulge it. Fuck the fear.
Literally.
The fear is what loves you. The fear is what wants you to have a home and food. Yeah. This whole thing, you got to conquer the fear. No. The fear is your friend. And that's what people don't realize. The fear is your friend. Like, I was talking to this guy once. He's in his mid-50s. He's like, I was just always afraid. Yeah, yes. You should still be afraid.
Follow that fear.
Follow the fear back to your home. The fear is why you have a home. You weren't going to make it 30 years ago. Yeah. But here's what you would have done. You would have ruined your life. You would have been broke. And now I know that all these guys, Bill Burr and all these amazing, brilliant comedians that I have a ton of respect for, give people speeches like, follow your dream. It's not that bad to be living on a couch. You know that quote that a lot of people use so they don't have to raise their children.
People that are broke.
People that use that quote, they use that Bill Burr quote as a way to not raise their kids, by the way. They're like, it's not bad living on a couch when you're 30. Hey, shut up in there. Daddy's doing a podcast, you know? It's by the way, you say something like that to try to inspire people, then you realize there's a lot of dirtbags using it as an excuse to take food out of their children's mouth.
Absolutely.
So that they can do new talent night.
Where they pay to do it.
Right. It's like, I feel, listen, we all you don't want to tell people, you don't want to ever close the door behind you. Like, you don't want to be like, we're the last generation of people to ever do this. obviously no one is saying that. There's a lot of people that are going to far exceed my success and career and be better at it and everything. But not when you're 50. You don't start when you're 50. You just don't.
No.
Also, you don't mortgage your children's future to do this. That's immoral. That's you're a bad person.
Yeah.
You're a bad there's no other way around it.
Right.
You're a bad person for doing that.
Yeah.
And it's very, very sad when that happens.
Yeah, Child Protective Services should come in.
Yeah.
You're at open mics 5 nights a week? Interesting.
Yeah, you can't have a child that is asking you, Mommy, where are you going? Or Daddy, where are you going? And you're going to an unpaid bar show. It's immoral and you have to stop it.
Yeah.
And you're a bad person. If you're doing that, you're not good. I'm not saying if you have a day job and you're providing for the kids, do anything you want as a hobby. And by the way, still not this. Do something else and make more money for the college fund, you fucking skell. You're a skell. But I'm not shitting on how you spend your free time. Just I meet certain people and they're like, I better figure it out. I got kids. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, you should have figured it out a long time ago.
But that's the thing. There's this idea of like that fear is always bad and we always have to conquer it. And I don't think so. I think we have to lean into it.
I like that.
And appreciate it a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, if you need, go get a potato and put a Marlboro Light in its mouth and watch that and then press play on your phone.